Hey everybody, Brooks Drag Times here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, as many of you might have seen, the McLaren 750S has debuted. And it's this video, I'm just going to go by and check it out with you all through the configurator and talk about whether it's a good choice to maybe pick up this over my McLaren 765LT. Now, I'm just seeing it for the first time like you all. I will have an opportunity to see this car in Miami. I think in 2 weeks it's coming down for the F1 races down here in Miami, and I hear they're going to be showing it. And then I'm also heading to Goodwood Festival of Speed in July, where I believe I will get to actually ride in the car as well. So if you're out in Goodwood, I'll be out there as well. So let's just get into it. All right, so here we go. McLaren 750S is an evolution off of the 720S, obviously. And what I'm seeing is it picks up some pieces of the 765LT and incorporates it into the 750S. And let's see what it's got. It's basically, we'll bring up the configurator. So here's the 720S, and I also have the 765LT. I picked the same color. This one looks a little different here, but by a spark. But first thing I notice here, mechanically it's got more horsepower, so it's up from 720 horsepower to about 750 horsepower, so still 15 horsepower shy of the 765LT. Weight, it drops a little bit of weight from the 720S, but it's not as light as the 765LT. So when you're comparing the spiders against each other, the 750S Spider is still over 100 pounds heavier than the 765LT. So that combined with 15 less horsepower, not expecting it to be faster than the 765LT, although when we look at it, there is definitely more aero on the 765LT. So possibly that could be an advantage on the 750S in an acceleration test. But McLaren's still quoting, I believe they're quoting 10.3 in the quarter mile for the 750S and 10.0 for the 765LT. And as you know, I've already run 960 in the Spider in not so great weather, and I expect to go in the 950s pretty easily. So mechanically, that's what we got. If we spin around to the back, you can see that it has the 765LT wing, or very similar wing style to that. So it kind of extrudes out the back, and it's got some more aggressive things right here. Changes in the back for the 720S versus 765LT. You got this kind of center exhaust exit with two pipes. Reminds me a little of the P1, although the P1's got a much bigger kind of angular design, and this has kind of a little kind of oval there. So looking from the back, 765LT is definitely more aggressive. You know, you do have some things here coming down, but it's hard to tell here. But obviously you have the side kind of things coming off the back wheels, which are more aggressive as well. And the 750 just does not have that. From a top-down view, pretty similar what we're looking at here in the Spider version. Spinning around to the front of the car, the front is definitely less aggressive. And I'm not so sure about the entire body-colored front kind of area of here. It just looks a little, I don't know, like these look much smaller, the intakes in the front. Just looks a little bit kind of electric-ish when you kind of look at electric cars where they don't have a lot of front intake and air vents. And I think making this completely body color just kind of accentuates that. So this, I'm wondering if maybe there's some options where you can actually black this out like back in the 720, or you can see kind of how the 765LT just gives a more kind of sharky front end right here, much more narrow, versus this kind of looks a little, you know, like a little bulbous, and there's just almost like too much color in this area right here. So onto the side profile of both, kind of spinning around to the side. Obviously on the LT, you've got the side skirts here, and then here, and then here. It really protrudes. And on the 750S, you're missing all that. The additional downforce and aero. So that's for the side profile. And that pretty much covers kind of the outside of each individual car right there. Onto some of the options. Let's kind of check out as we scroll down. Wheels and brakes for the 750S. These are kind of look like some of the similar designs we've seen in the past. I love these wheels right here. These kind of twin spoke, ultra lightweight, and of course you know what I like, diamond cut. So when we diamond cut these wheels here, this design is awesome. Reminds me of the Elva, which I said in a previous video. I would love to get me a set of Elva wheels. So I think if I decide to keep the 765 LT, I am going to grab a set of these wheels. And these are ultra lightweight, and these wheels are actually super lightweight, which I thought the new design of the wheels for the 765 LT Spider were going to be lighter. They're actually heavier than my old coupe wheels by 2.5 pounds. I actually weighed them. So I was a little disappointed that I spent an extra $4,500 for optional wheels in the 765 LT Spider and added about 10 pounds to my car. So I think this might solve that if I decide to keep. I love the design of these wheels compared to what I have on my 765, which you can see right behind me, but obviously I have these super lightweight in the diamond cut. So these still look good. These definitely look better. So that's the kind of wheels I would pick. And then if we scroll down some more, we got calipers, track brake upgrades. So here's the thing. So on the 750S, they're offering you a lot of options that the 765 was available that were not available in the 720S. So that includes the track brakes, that includes lightweight P1 seats or Senna seats as well. So you can definitely get some lighter weight options and borrow some of the parts from the 765 LT. But that's all I'm going to go through here. Let's go to exterior. There's some interesting kind of blackout packages that they have on this. So black pack is what I have on my 765 LT. That blacks out the kind of fender vents here and the top and the back. But still, no blacking out of the front, completely covered front bumper. So that would have been cool to kind of black out this to give it the more kind of pointed front fascia. Other options here: exterior details carbon fiber, under panel carbon fiber, upper structure carbon fiber. You do a carbon fiber hood. You could do a gloss black exhaust finisher, and then you can also do your rear spoiler in carbon if you want. And then you can do the roof in gloss black, or you can do the $10,000 electrochromatic, which I skipped because you're never going to use that. Front air exit. Let's check out that. What is that? In black. Not sure where that is on here. I don't know. Not sure exactly what that is. And then rear bumper. This is interesting. This gives definitely a more aggressive look. So look at here. We did a complete blackout of the back, which actually looks pretty cool. But maybe combine this with a carbon fiber hood would kind of, match a little better. So if I go back here, I think there's a hood carbon option right there. That is looking better, but still this bothers me, this little front part. So there you go, front carbon, blacked out back, definitely looks more racy and more aggressive right there, but still not lining up with the 765 LT, which I guess is good because that's what I got right here. We'll bump over to interior specifications. This is where there's a lot of additional changes as well. So you can have updated the interior infotainment stack in the 750S to that of the Artura. Not exactly, so it still keeps the interior kind of center design of the 720S, but they replace it with the new system that allows you for CarPlay, Android Auto, and it also replaces the fold down screen in the 765 LT, which folds down and allows you to have a clear view over the steering wheel for racing, with these binnacles and center stack where the entire steering wheel and center stack move together, right? So this is actually a plus. I definitely like the new interior bits of this. It's a fresher design. Of course, CarPlay is a welcome addition to have from McLaren. We have that in the Ferrari, we have that in the Lamborghini, and most other modern day supercars and exotic cars come with that, and it's pretty cool. It's not like essential because I really don't use it a lot. I know where I'm going. I use it for navigation. I usually just mount my phone and put up Waze or something like that. But it is definitely nice to have it built in. There is a launch button right here. So the launch button moves up here, and then you switch your suspension and transmission settings on the binnacle. So you just kind of click up and down for normal sport and all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely a welcome addition that I would have loved to have in the 765 LT, but it's not essential to the driving experience of the car. Coming around to look at some other options here, it looks pretty much the same as 720, except of course that you can get these additional lightweight seats now in the 750S. So here's some kind of interior Alcantara and performance options. And then we go here, seat style. Here you go. So you got the comfort seat, which was always available in the 720S. Now you can do a carbon fiber racing seats. which these are the P1 seats that I have in my car. And then of course, now you can optionally get the Senna seats in the 750S. So I think, you know, this might make some LT owners upset that you can get a lot of the 765 LT parts in the 750. But, you know, I don't fault McLaren for offering that. I mean, you should be able to kind of order, you know, whatever you like, since the 765 LTs are completely sold out. You can't get that anymore. I'm sure they have some extra parts, and why not let people spend a lot of more money to outfit their 750S. So I imagine these seats are probably like, I don't know, it could be like a $12,000 to $15,000 option. I haven't gotten the pricing of the 750S yet, but so there you go, that's the interior. And if we want to look at the interior of my car, you can kind of see right here, center stack's different. It's got no CarPlay, and then of course it's got the flip down screen. So 750S and then 765 LT. On to entertainment. I think that's just speaker choices, no big deal. Safety and security. This is kind of other options like 3D parking assist and sensors and stuff like that. Home link. Practical, car cover, ashtray, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's kind of the basics of it, right? So what do you guys think? I'm going to go to the exterior view again. Take a look at our 750S versus outside of the 765 LT. This also has the updated transmission. Important note. So 750S has the same transmission as the 765 LT. That means shorter gearing, better acceleration, sacrificing top speed. So they're going to drop the top speed. I think it was 216 miles an hour for 720S. 750S is going to come down to the same top speed of 765 LT, which I think is like 203 miles an hour or so. So there you go. Still heavier than the 765 LT. Definitely doesn't look as aggressive, but to think overall, I think McLaren did a pretty good job for just kind of a minor refresh with the interior bits, some changes in the rear here, and obviously the biggest change is in this front area here, you know, compared to the 765 LT. I was, you know, when I knew this car was coming out, super excited. I called my dealer. I'm like, hey, put me down for that. They actually said they're sold out for the first year completely, and that a car might be available to me for in year 2 or 3. But after looking at this compared to 765, yeah, unless it was like considerably cheaper and it was a much better deal, I think after going through all these things, it looks like 765 is probably going to be a keeper for me for now. But I don't know. I got to experience the car. Obviously, that's super important. So hopefully I'll be able to see the car in Miami in the next, I don't know, 10 days or 2 weeks. And then, of course, off to Goodwood, Festival of Speed, where maybe I can get a ride in the car with McLaren. That'll be super cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. 750S, additional horsepower, transmission from the 765 LT, revised front, new infotainment inside, 765 LT spoiler in the back. Still heavier than 765 LT, both in the coupe and spider form. All right, so on to pricing. Pricing for the coupe 750S, $324,000, spider $343,000. I believe my 765 LT spider started at $358,000. So man, it's really approaching that of the LT, and of course everything's getting more expensive as things are harder to get. So that makes, I think, 765 LT spider quite the car to have given the prices. I think we'll see a lot of 750S spiders going past MSRPs of the 765 LT. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of the 750S coupe and spider. What do you think about how close it gets to the 765 LT? And what are your opinions on keeping the 765 LT spider or moving to the 750S or waiting for what McLaren has next? I imagine everything's probably going turbo and hybrid in its next iteration. Super excited to see what they got coming. Thanks for watching.